Hello everyone, thanks for watching at Pedia World videos. This is lesson 1, a short introduction to Chinese language learning. We talked about how we handle the learning of language skills and language elements. This video is divided into 4 parts. It starts with a broad view of Chinese learning. Second part is set your target. Finally, we will know how to handle Chinese language skills and how to handle Chinese language elements. A broad view of Chinese learning. This drawing clearly illustrates the Chinese learning is divided into 2 main aspects: knowledge and skills. Knowledge, which is also the language elements. In Chinese, we have phonetic, 语音, character, 汉字, grammar, 语法, vocabulary, 词汇. In the language skills, we have listening, speaking and oral, reading, and writing. Set your target of learning Chinese. Let's learn in an effective and efficient way. It is important to acquire some basic mindsets when learning a language. First is to set your target. You need to find your learning motivation. In other words, your learning target. Some people learn a language is because of family expectation, future work opportunity, work need, personal interest. Different targets leads to different learning approach and learning material. For example, while you only expect yourself to speak the language but not to write, I would suggest you not to spend too much time on cramming advanced grammar rules. In short, it is important to know which language elements you should learn and which language skills you want to obtain for a certain purpose. For example, your learning target is to speak Chinese in your work setting. Then, you have to focus on the oral and listening skills, and you have to learn some vocabulary which is related to your learning work environment. In short, to enjoy Chinese learning, in the beginning, you should not put too many barriers. Therefore, you can enjoy the Chinese learning quickly. How to handle the language skills. After setting your target, we have more information on how to handle the language skills and language elements. We come back to this drawing, which clearly illustrates what the overall learning looks like. We will go back to the language skill part. To be able to speak the language requires plenty of language input. For example, listen to MP3, watching Mandarin movie, or even move to China. So you can have some degree of output to be able to speak. So as a beginner, you can spend more time on listening and be relaxed. No need to focus yourself to speak immediately. In other words, don't expect to speak perfectly when you first learn a sentence. Silence is somehow golden. If you understand what native speakers say, even you won't be able to make instant response. It has already been a big success, isn't it? Don't forget you have a basic way to express yourself. That is your body language. One day, you will be able to speak when you have enough listening. Just like a baby's, you need to at least get 1 year to speak a single word. After learning Chinese for a while, you have more input, then you will be at intermediate level. It is the time that you can spend more on reading and writing. For advanced level, you will reach a level to learn more on writing. How to handle the language elements? We go back to this drawing. You'll see the language elements here. It is suggested that at the beginning, you first have to handle the tones by listening more. Chinese is a tonal language. How can I master it? Many people may ask this question. Remember, please don't drill too much on tones at the beginning level. There are 4 tones in Mandarin and 6 to 9 tones in Cantonese. We will be too early to feel too many barriers. What can we do is to briefly understand there's are tones, be rest, and move on. Because when you know only a few sentences, native speaker can easily guess what you say without paying attention to the correctness of your tones. So now the heavy stone is removed. You can enjoy a bit more to be a second language learner. Never expect yourself to pronounce the tones correctly like native speakers. Adult learners may be way too harsh on themselves. Let us learn step by step. When you reach the intermediate level, tonal accuracy is the target. As you know more words, tones are how these words be distinctive to you and others when you speak. Many people find Chinese characters very hard to remember and very hard to write. My suggestion is read only, type with PC, write basic words, and remember the radicals. Oh, Chinese looks like pictures to me. How can I master them? I like Chinese characters, especially the traditional characters, as they carry more ideological meanings. You and I both see the beauty of Chinese characters. Then, leave the writing to native speaker to write it. What you really have to do is to recognize them starting from the beginner level. Not all the words. Choose the common, mostly used one. I have the word list. You can ask me later. One of my friend Betty from US said, I only want to speak Chinese, so she just skipped learning Chinese characters. By doing so, she could have conversation with me in Mandarin after a few months of full-time study. Surely, she enjoyed a lot throughout the learning and managed to keep it up. It was smart for her by noticing what language skills she wanted to develop. Only oral, not writing. But still, some characters recognition is needed. One day, if you can only read pinyin, it could be uncomfortable. Back to her case, she could put aside some unnecessary stress and workload in the beginner level. That is not wrong. The latest journal suggests that for a foreigner, they may try to recognize the characters instead of writing them. Just like if you live in Hong Kong, you probably need to recognize some Chinese characters for a better living, such as dates, bus stops, toilet sign, etc. While you are familiar with the romanization, you can type Chinese on the mobile phone and the computer. Therefore, you don't have to learn how to write the strokes. What you have to do is to recognize characters and write them with Chinese input software. Now, let's take a look how we handle grammar and vocabulary. Pick those simple and functional one, and starts to make sentence. Pick those important to you that you can use in daily life. Chinese grammar can be very simple and very complicated, depending on how you treat it. This is a very simple grammar format. You learn a vocabulary and then you learn the verb. So add together, it became 打电话, to make a phone call. And then you can make sentences when you have more vocabulary, and eventually you can write a passage. It is actually important to choose those functional grammar that you can use in daily life. And this functional grammar make more sense to your daily life. To listen and read as quickly as you can is to accumulate word power. To create your own word bank using flashcard or Anki, etc., or practice on Memrise or Quiznet. I taught my Japanese student Mia to build up her own word bank, to create her own tailor-made flashcard. She was married to a Hong Kong guy, so she desperately wanted to learn some housework vocabulary to communicate with her parents-in-law. To help do housework, I guess. This motivates her a lot. It comes to find your motivation. My friend who likes Chinese dumpling very much, and very much like the dim sum, I do think he has a word bank on Chinese food so as to order what he wants. And what about you? We native speakers can guess what you say even you make grammatical mistakes. But we won't understand what you say if you do not have enough vocabulary, or mess up on tones even though you are grammatically correct. Learning vocabulary can be fun with a box of flashcards. Read and listening more help increase word power and improve your tonal accuracy. To recap, Chinese learning is divided into two main parts, the Chinese element and the skills. Thank you for watching at PDL World videos. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.